use it to grind. Hey, look at this here. Is that the Mad Max turkey?
It's the Mad Max.
Is this Mad Max here? Here, this here's Mad Max. Wait a minute. I want to ask you a question here, sir.
Go for it.
Why do they call you Mad Max?
They call me Mad Max because I'm mad.
Turkey! Turkey! All right. And tell me something else. Where are you from anyway? You're not from around here, these parts, are you?
Came all the way from Virginia just to cook here at Fred's Music.
Oh, wow. All the way from Virginia!
But now to make the gravy, you just take yourself your basic pot here, and we're starting off with 2 sticks of butter. I'm just going to use a paper towel so I can grip my thing here. And you're going to make a basic roux, and what you use here is 2 sticks of butter. And you get 2 sticks of butter going on a pretty high heat. And to that we're going to add some flour. And it doesn't have to be exact. But we're going to add about a half a cup of flour to it. And you just get it stirred until it's nice and smooth. And the butter's all melted in there. And it's working into a nice smooth paste. And it's not an exact science, but it's again about a half a cup. And at this point, you don't have to worry about lumpy gravy. I'll explain that in a little bit, what makes gravy lumpy, okay? We've all had lumpy gravy. And when you're making your roux, you just want to keep it going smooth here. Now remember when we poured that half a bottle of white wine on your turkey earlier today, hopefully you all didn't drink the other half of the bottle, and you kept it in reserve. What we're going to do at this point, now this is a fresh bottle, we're going to pour about a half a bottle of wine in here and keep it working till that boils off and it gets real nice and thick. Now remember when we took that turkey out of that pan before and there was all that nice brown crud in the bottom of that pan, and we tipped that turkey up and let all those juices pour out of the center of that turkey? We saved all that stuff, all those good drippings. Don't throw that stuff away, because this right here is all the flavor in your turkey. Now you can see it's separated now. About half of it is fat, and about half of it is really your good drippings. And what I would normally do is separate the two and get rid of this fat, okay, and and pitch it. But since we're sort of in a little bit of a time crunch here, and I don't really have my separator, I'm going to add it all together today. But normally I would separate it out for the sake of really pretty gravy. And you can also see this is what's going to really add your color to your gravy too. And it took what was that really nice light roux and turned it into a really nice color of a roux. And again, we're just going to keep stirring that in there. The other thing that fat does is just give you a little cholesterol too, but that's okay. Nobody's counting.
Not on Thanksgiving.
Not on Thanksgiving. And now that we got that worked in, now we just start adding your stock to it. And you just start working in your stock. Now if we had a separate second pot here with your stock in it, you'd just sit here with a ladle and just start ladling in your stock. And you just start stirring it in. See how easy this is? Mm-hmm. Now, what makes lumpy gravy? What makes lumpy gravy is sometimes you go, oh, my gravy's too thin. So I'll thicken it up by adding a little flour to it. Well, the trouble is once you start trying to add flour to this, I don't care how hard you stir it, if you put flour on this gravy now, all that flour is going to do is congeal into little balls and you're going to have lumpy gravy. So if your gravy is too thin, what you do is in a separate little cup or bowl, take some of your stock, pour it into a little bowl, add some flour to it, whisk that into a paste until it's a nice paste, then add that paste into your gravy and stir it in. That's how you avoid the lumps, okay? So if your gravy's too thin, whip up a little separate paste of flour and stock, add that to your gravy, that'll make it thicker. Okay? If your gravy's too thick and you want it thinner, just add more chicken stock or grab more of your turkey stock to it. And let it keep cooking down.
Yeah, that's turkey stock. I guess they do.
You can. It's hard. I mean, you can find boxed turkey stock, but it's kind of hard to find. And then you just want to let this cook for a good. That's why I said earlier, my turkey, once it's done cooking, usually sits out for about an hour to an hour and a half, because that's when I make my gravy. And I'm going to let this gravy usually cook for about let it sit and simmer for about 45 minutes to an hour at least before I'm serving dinner. And of course, you can season it with a little salt and pepper if it needs it. Chances are this turkey broth has enough seasoning in it already. Or has enough salt in it at least already. It's not really going to need any salt.
Now, would you put herbs and stuff in there, like rosemary and that kind of
Probably not, because it's already had the benefit of that already.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how you make gravy, folks. It's that easy. And I'll guarantee you, even made this way with the chicken broth, it's a hell of a lot better than what you're going to buy in a jar. So here's the one we did this morning. And so this one. And then what we want to do is, before we actually pull it out of here completely, is I want to tip it up and let all those juices run out of it, because I want all these pan drippings for my gravy later on. If you have any questions, holler out. I'll be happy to.
What's up about water?
I've never used a water smoker, so I really don't know. I mean, in this pan, because of the wine and the butter, you're getting a fair amount of steam anyway. In there, there's plenty. Believe me, there's plenty of moisture in here. And you got to remember also, with the big green egg, you're getting a pretty fair amount of moisture. You got the moisture retention properties of the egg to start with, so you're getting an awful lot of moisture retention within the egg. So you really don't need anything extra in that regard.